What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check this out. So we were talking about Loki Season 2 the other day and the buzz on that show, or the lack thereof, right? Because nobody's really checking for Loki, at least in my personal observation. I've been all over social media just seeing what the buzz is for this show, and there's a little bit of buzz, don't get it twisted, but it's not what we would expect from an MCU show, right? We've seen nothing but big things coming out of the MCU. And lately, just lately, we've been seeing like, yeah, the buzz and the hype is kind of dying down, right? Remember we had that list of all the Marvel television shows that had dropped on Disney Plus? And yeah, remember, we talked about this, right? We talked about this list of all the MCU TV shows on Disney Plus. And when you look at this list, it's like, okay, you got what? Maybe WandaVision and Loki as like decent shows. All right, these are decent enough shows. Enjoyed them for the most part. All right. What about the rest of this crap? All right. It's trash. Most of this stuff on here is trash. Maybe an episode or two, a moment or two here and there. All right. But most of it's trash, especially the last four since 2022 on the lead up into Loki season 2. None of this stuff is good, and none of it connects. All right. How does Loki season 2 connect to anything above? How does any of this stuff on here connect to the MCU in film, the MCU proper? It doesn't. You don't really care about any of this stuff, you know? And yeah, so when it came to Loki season 2, it didn't surprise me that there wasn't a whole lot of buzz, you know, not a whole lot of hype being built up for it, because it's like, yeah, look what came before it. None of this stuff connects to anything. Like, it's just a big bag of so what? So that's why, you know, I find this sudden, like, newfound transparency that Disney is giving us when it comes to their viewership numbers on these shows. I find it to be absolutely hilarious. They just did that with Ahsoka, and now they're doing this with Loki Season 2. As you can see on this headline by IGN, Loki Season 2 viewership is seemingly off to a strong start, but behind The Mandalorian Season 3. Yeah, even IGN is hedging their bets. Seemingly off to a strong start. Disney says it's the second most watched Disney Plus season premiere of 2023. So yeah, let's go ahead and check this article out. In what appears to be a bit of good news, see how they're still hedging it, okay? It appears to be a bit of good news for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has had its fair shares of ups and downs in 2023. Loki Season 2 is seemingly off to a solid start. The new season, which follows Tom Hiddleston's epimonious character as he continues to deal with the Time Variance Authority, drew in more than 10.9 million views globally in the first 3 days since its October 5 premiere. Disney said today. The company added that makes it the second highest viewed premiere of 2023, only behind The Mandalorian Season 3. I don't understand what this number means, Disney. 10.9 million views globally in the first 3 days. What does this mean? How are we to understand this? Is this good? Is this bad? How does it compare to previous Marvel television shows? We don't know. We have no idea. They could have thrown any number up there, right? And I'm not even saying that this is a bad number. I'm just saying, like, we don't know how to equate this number to anything else that, you know, has been going on Disney Plus. All right, that we have no idea how this compares. Is it getting better for Marvel? Is it getting worse for Marvel? We have no idea. All right. And again, we should know how it compares to Marvel, not how it compares to The Mandalorian Season 3. That's like a completely different franchise. So I want to know, how does this compare to Secret Invasion? You know, they got the Mandalorian Season 3 numbers, but they don't have the Secret Invasion numbers. You know, you have to question stuff like that. OK, because I do. All right. And it says, now, let's break that down a bit as much as we can. For one thing, streaming data is a bit of the Wild West. Absolutely. This is just a number. It has no meaning whatsoever. You know, it's just something to throw out there. And emerged is a key issue in the now officially ended writer strike. Disney is particularly only just recently started reporting select numbers, including the premiere of Ahsoka. Putting Loki up against that aforementioned Star Wars series at first glance, you might say that Loki debuted lower. As Disney said, Ahsoka premiered to 14 million views, but Disney reported the 5-day total of Ahsoka rather than the 3-day like Loki. See, this is just a bunch of BS, man. They're like not even comparing these two together. Why are we getting a 5-day Ahsoka total, right? 14 million views, that's the 5-day total for Ahsoka, but they're giving us a 3-day total for Loki. Why? Why the different time frames? Why not just measure everything the same? You know, how do we understand this? How does Loki compare to Secret Invasion? How does Loki compare to the first season of Loki or to any of these other Marvel television shows? How does it compare? That's what I am interested in. If you're going to do this, make sure that you say, okay, based on where Loki was in Loki season 1, first 3 days, Loki season 2, first 3 days. Boom. All right. That's a comparison we can look at. And best believe Disney has those numbers, even though they've never reported it. They know. They know. They just don't want to tell you. All right. And the reason that they don't want to tell you, and the reason they're giving you the 3-day, right, instead of the 5-day, they don't want to wait for the 5-day total. Why? Because you know who else comes out with a 5-day total? Samba TV. Now, you guys will remember we saw this same exact graphic on the other video. All right. Marvel premiere viewership by the numbers, the number of U.S. households. L plus 4D, that means live. It went live plus the next 4 days. All right. Samba TV gives us these breakdowns and they compare it to other things within the same franchise so we can kind of get a better look at what's going on. And you can see Loki, the first season of Loki, it was better than anything. Moon Knight, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Wanda. All right. And then remember, we went through it. It was better than even some Marvel films, all right? When those Marvel films like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, when that hit Disney Plus, all right? Loki had a better 5-day viewership than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Had better 5-day than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So, yeah, we can see the downtrend of Marvel. That's what we were talking about. So, Disney had to do something to get ahead of this, all right? Because this number for Loki Season 2, this number is coming soon, all right? It'll be out within the next couple of days. So, let's see if we can extrapolate real quick, all right? Let's see if we can figure out what Samba TV is going to report, since we have numbers that we can look at that are tangible, that Samba TV's been reporting for years, all right? Let's go ahead and see if we can figure out what it's going to be for Loki Season 2. All right. So they said it came into second place, right? Second place behind Mando Season 3. All right. So this is the 5-day total for Mando Season 3, you know, as recorded by Samba TV within the first 5 days. You got 1.6 million. All right. So that's Mando Season 3. And then what was second place? All right. Until then, before that, what was second place? Was Ahsoka. Now, the Ahsoka total was 1.2 million, right? But it was over the first 6 days. I think they counted that Tuesday night, you know, because it came out on Tuesday night. I think they counted that Tuesday evening as a day. But nevertheless, 1.2 million. That's what Samba TV had reported for Ahsoka. So it's going to fall somewhere between 1.6 and 1.2. Is that going to be 1.4? You know, split the baby right down the middle, 1.4 million? That's my guess. All right. That's what I'm thinking that it's going to come out to for Loki Season 2. All right. The debut episode is going to come in after the 5-day total, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.4 million. All right. Which again, wouldn't even hit this list, you know, wouldn't even make the top 5 of this list. Is definitely going to be way less than this 2.5 million. You're talking about an enormous drop-off, all right? A huge drop-off of about 1 million viewers, you know, in the U.S. And again, of course, if you spread that across the globe, all right, that's huge, man. That is a huge number. That's why Disney wanted to get ahead of this thing, all right? They had to get those numbers out before Samba TV came out and poured water all over Loki and said, oh, man, nobody's watching this thing like they used to, all right? They knew DA and all the other YouTubers were going to be coming out here and cracking on this thing. And we still will, okay? As soon as that Samba TV number comes out. Now, I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, but that's my best guess, all right? In terms of what that number is going to look like. What does that mean for Loki? What does that mean for Marvel, all right? I think we all see the writing on the wall by now, okay? The Marvel Cinematic Universe is on a humongous downtrend. Nobody's checking for it. All right. Loki, it might be a good show. I'm not even saying anything was bad about the show. I thought the show was decent. All right. It was a decent watch. I don't think people that enjoy the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be disappointed with Loki, like we were all disappointed with Ahsoka. But nevertheless, I think you can tell, hey, people have walked away from Marvel, you know. Now all that you have left are the super duper hardcore folks. And even some of those guys are like, you know what? I could just binge watch this. I'm not interested in checking this every single week, you know. I was telling a friend and he said, yeah, I could just wait for all 6 episodes to just completely finish. And then I got other stuff to watch, you know. It's a big problem right now with Disney. It's a big problem with Marvel and Star Wars. And we'll, you know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, these numbers, this number that, this 10.9 million views globally, that don't mean nothing. I don't even understand that number. What does that even mean, you know? So yeah, I think Marvel's got to start figuring some things out because again, all of these numbers that they're putting out doesn't tell us anything, all right? And if anything, the Samba TV number that we should be getting in the next couple of days, that will tell us everything we need to know. Because that's going to give us, again, a comparison to what Marvel was and what Marvel is right now. And it appears that what Marvel is right now, they're in the throes of an enormous amount of audience depreciation. Nobody's checking for this no more. Nobody's checking for it. You know, it's showing up in the box office. It's showing up on the viewership on Disney+. That's what I'm taking out of this, all right? You guys let me know what you think. Go ahead, jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.